Hello, dear students. Welcome to I-Fal. My name is Teacher Nikki, and I am here to have another video lesson with you. So I am so excited to talk about a new topic for you today that will help you understand and construct better sentences using the English language. I know that these lessons will be very helpful for you to communicate using the English language that are grammatically correct and properly constructed, considering that we will be talking about some grammar topics. So I want you to concentrate on our lesson today, pay attention to our sample sentences, and please practice them very well even after the class. So let's go ahead and start our lesson. Let's go. So for today, let's go ahead and talk about prepositional phrases, okay? So what are prepositional phrases? So a prepositional phrase is a group of words consisting of a preposition, its object, and any words that modify the object, okay? So as long as it starts with a preposition, then definitely it is connected or with other words. So therefore, we call it a prepositional phrase. Most of the time, a prepositional phrase modifies a verb or a noun. So sounds familiar? So these two kinds of prepositional phrases are called, number one, adverbial phrases and adjectival phrases, respectively. So if it's an adverbial phrase, then it modifies a verb from the word adverb. And adjectival phrases, then it modifies or describes a noun. All right? So let's see what we have here more. At a minimum, a prepositional phrase consists of one preposition and the object it governs or modifies. The object can be a noun, a gerund, or a clause. Example, he arrived in time. Okay? In plus time there, then this makes a prepositional phrase. Is she really going out with that guy? With and then guy, right? And then there's a word that to make it a phrase. Okay? Next one. To these two basic elements, modifiers can be freely added. So actually, we can add more words to our prepositional phrases, okay, as long as there is a preposition and some nouns that it modifies there or as an element of its object, okay. He arrived in the nick of time. So instead of in time, in the nick of time, so almost in time. Is she really going out with that tall, gorgeous guy? So we added more adjectives here with that guy, with that tall, gorgeous guy. Then this is also considered as a prepositional phrase. So some of the most common prepositions that begin with prepositional phrases are to, of, about, at, before, after, by, behind, during, for, from, in, over, under, and with. Later on, we're going to talk about these prepositions and these prepositional phrases. All right. Now, prepositional phrases that modify nouns. So when a prepositional phrase acts upon a noun, we say it is behaving adjectively or because adjectives modify nouns. So remember, when your prepositional phrase modifies or describes a noun, then we call it an adjectival phrase. Okay, let's see some examples to understand what we're talking about. The cat in the middle is the cutest. So we see here that we have the prepositional phrase in the middle actually describing the cat. The cat is a noun, so therefore, in the middle, okay, is an example of a prepositional phrase as an adjectival phrase, okay? It describes or modifies the noun cat. Next one, I always buy my milk from the convenience store on Main Street. So here on Main Street describes the convenience store. Okay, so that is also an adjectival phrase or prepositional phrase acting as an adjectival phrase. Last sentence. My mother has always wanted to live in a cabin by the lake. So by the lake here describes the cabin. Okay, it tells something about the cabin. So the cabin by the lake. So it's also an adjectival phrase. All right? Do we understand how this prepositional phrase modify your nouns? Okay? So next one. In the first of these sentences, in the middle, answers the question which cat the writer thinks is the cutest. So it describes the cat. Similarly, on Main Street gives information about which store, the convenience store on Main Street. Okay. And the writer is describing that. And by the lake tells us what kind of cabin the writer's mother is dreaming about. Okay. All of these adjectival phrase provide specificity or like it specifies to a noun in order to enhance our understanding of it. Okay, so remember that if we're trying to modify or tell something about it, then that is okay your prepositional phrase acting as an adjectival phrase. All right, next one. So prepositional phrase that modify verbs. So when a prepositional phrase acts upon a verb describing the verb, so this is acting as a adverbial phrase or it's behaving adverbially. All right? So look at the example. To find the person who stole the last cookie, look behind you. So what is your verb here? We have look. Okay, and it's being described by the verb or the prepositional phrase behind you. Harry drank his butter beer with fervor. Okay? Now how did he drank or did he drink his butterbeer? With fervor. So with fervor here describes the way he drank. So that is a prepositional phrase that modify your verb. Okay? Now, in the first sentence, behind you answers the question, look where? Right? In the second sentence, with fervor answers the question, drank how? So then they are now describing your verbs or your actions. Okay. Now, prepositional phrase acting as noun. So they could also act as noun. How do you know? They act like a verb or like a subject in your sentence. Example, during the national anthem is the worst time to blow your nose. Okay? So during the time is the worst time to blow your nose. After the game, will be too late for us to go to dinner. So after the game here is like noun. Okay, so it serves like your subject. So as you can see, we have your subject during the national anthem, after the game, and your verb is, will be. Okay, so please understand that. Now, so in our sentences, how do we avoid too many prepositional phrases in the sentence? So sometimes it is tempting to overuse prepositions and prepositional phrases. So if you see more than one preposition for every 10 or 15 words in your writing or even in your speaking, you should edit some of them out. So you may be surprised at how much more elegant or more good sounding your sentences than if you try to edit or avoid overusing your prepositions. Example, it is best to behave with caution when running with a sword in the presence of Magneto. So there is nothing grammatically incorrect about the sentence, but it has to with, an of, and in, which is a sure sign that it could be written more efficiently. Therefore, we can reduce it, make it more sophisticated, and better sounding by reducing some of your prepositions in the sentence. Okay? Example, in Magneto's presence, run cautiously with swords. Okay, here it was possible to replace one of the prepositional phrase with caution with the correlating adverb cautiously.
of magneto was simply a possessive that could be easily converted to magnetos. So four prepositional phrases have been reduced to two. Okay, you see that strategy? You can also do that in writing. Okay, it might be difficult to do that in speaking, okay, but you can definitely do that in writing. Okay, so, another way to reduce prepositional phrases is to switch from a passive voice to active. So, sometimes by converting to from passive to active, then you are reducing your prepositions. Why was the rose crossed by the chicken? So, this is a passive voice. So, it makes the sentence sometimes confusing. Then you can convert it into active voice. Why did the chicken cross the road? Okay, as you can see, we don't have so many prepositions or prepositional phrases in the sentence. Okay, now we have here some examples or common examples of prepositional phrases. So, example, first one, under construction. A new railroad is under construction. For real. After two trial runs, we did it for real. At the same time. All speak at the same time. By the time. By the time I got there, he'd gone. Okay? Another, by the way. By the way, how is John? On paper. Could you put your ideas down on paper? With regret. Do not waste time with regret. And at a discount. Employees can buy books at a discount. Okay? So there are so many prepositional phrases that you could learn, but these are just some of the most common ones that we use in the English grammar or English language. So please try to understand and practice more using your prepositional phrases. Okay?
So I hope you find our lesson today very helpful. So as I always say, the secret in making your communication skills in English better is constant practice. So I want you to please keep on practicing all the lessons that we've had in the past and even this present lesson. So I know that you can do it really well and you'll improve yourself eventually. So just keep believing in yourself and practice more, okay? Now, please stay tuned to our more lessons here in I-Fal and please visit our website that I will flash on the next screen. I also encourage you to please subscribe to our classes because we have a lot of amazing teachers that will help you and guide you in improving your English skills. So once again, this is Teacher Nikki. So I'll just see you again on the next classes and video lessons that we're going to have. I know that we will have more amazing lessons in the future. So stay tuned and good luck. Study harder and I'll see you next time. Bye.